Mystery is not a game. It is a resource management strategy. The words you speak are a currency, and you are spending them with reckless abandon. You believe that being an open book is a sign of honesty. You think that filling every silence with chatter is a mark of social skill. The cold reality is that you are leaking your most valuable asset: information. Every unnecessary word you utter is a strategic blunder. You are disarming yourself in a world that respects leverage, not verbosity. You are not building connections. You are broadcasting your weaknesses and destroying your own authority. This is not a matter of personality. It is a matter of power dynamics, governed by a principle known as information asymmetry. In any interaction, from a business negotiation to a first date, the person who has more information and reveals less holds the strategic advantage. When you talk too much, you are voluntarily surrendering this advantage. You are laying all of your cards on the table while your opponent holds theirs close to their chest. You are giving them a complete map of your psychology, your insecurities, your desires, your history, while their inner world remains a mystery to you. This is not a conversation between equals. It is an interrogation where you are the willing subject. There is a profound psychological link between talking too much and anxiety. Verbosity is often a symptom of a nervous system in distress. It is an attempt to manage social anxiety by filling the void of silence. You are afraid that if you stop talking, the other person will judge you, or that the interaction will fail. This frantic need to fill the space is a subconscious signal of submission. It communicates that you are not comfortable in your own skin, that you are seeking their approval to validate your presence. A man who is truly powerful is comfortable with silence. He understands that silence is a canvas, and he allows others to paint on it with their own words, revealing their intentions. High-status individuals understand this intuitively. They are economical with their words. Their brevity is not a sign of rudeness. It is a sign that their time and attention are valuable resources. They do not feel the need to over-explain, to justify their positions, or to seek validation for their thoughts. When they speak, their words have weight because they are rare. They have impact because they are deliberate. The man who talks constantly, on the other hand, devalues his own speech. His words become background noise, easily dismissed and quickly forgotten. He is the radio that is always on, and everyone has learned to tune him out. One of the most common mistakes in this domain is the tendency to explain your own jokes. You make a witty or sarcastic comment, and for a moment, it is met with silence. Your anxiety spikes. You fear they did not get it, so you immediately break the frame and explain the punchline. In that moment, you have destroyed the power of your own statement. You have communicated that you need their laughter as validation. A man with a solid frame says what he says, and he is indifferent to the reaction. He finds it amusing himself, and that is sufficient. If they do not understand, it is their loss, not his failure. An even more critical error is the premature disclosure of personal trauma or deep vulnerabilities. You're conditioned to believe that this vulnerability is a shortcut to intimacy. But when deployed too early, it is the opposite. It is a form of trauma dumping. It is a subconscious plea for therapy and validation disguised as a deep connection. You are not building trust. You are burdening the other person with the responsibility for your emotional state. You are revealing the blueprint to your deepest insecurities, handing them the weapons that can be used against you later. True intimacy is built slowly, through shared experiences and demonstrated trust. It is not built by spilling your psychological guts to someone who has not earned the right to hear your story. Observe the communication patterns of those you respect. Notice how leaders, mentors, and men of high status answer questions. They are often direct, concise, and leave no room for unnecessary interpretation. They do not ramble. They do not volunteer information that was not asked for. Their answers are final. This is not a tactic they learned. It is the natural result of a mind that is focused on its mission. They are not in the conversation to be liked. They are there to exchange necessary information and move on to the next objective. Their default state is not, how can I get this person to approve of me? It is, what is the most efficient way to handle this interaction? To reclaim your power, you must learn to treat your words as a strategic asset. The first practical technique is the half answer. This is the art of answering a question directly without revealing unnecessary details. When someone asks, "What have you been up to lately?" the low-status, verbose man will give a 10-minute monologue about his job, his hobbies, his problems. The man practicing strategic silence will reply, "I've been focused on a new project," or "just handling business." The answer is true. It is not evasive, but it holds back the details. It creates a vacuum of mystery that makes the other person more curious. You have answered the question, but you have not surrendered your information advantage. The second, more crucial practice is to listen far more than you speak. Aim for an 80-20 ratio. In any given conversation, your goal should be to listen 80% of the time and speak only 20%. This is not passive. This is an active intelligence-gathering operation. While the other person is talking, you are learning. You are identifying their values, their desires, their insecurities, their worldview. You are allowing them to lay their cards on the table. The more they talk, the more leverage you gain. You can then use the 20% of the time that you speak to guide the conversation, to ask precise questions, and to make statements that have maximum impact because they are based on the intelligence you have gathered. Let's dispel the myth that this makes you a cold or uninteresting person. People are not fascinated by those who tell them everything. They are fascinated by those who they cannot fully figure out. An open book is read once and then put on the shelf. A locked diary is a source of constant intrigue. You are not being boring by being silent. You are being mysterious. You are forcing the other person's mind to work, to wonder about you, to invest their own mental energy into solving the puzzle of who you are. This cognitive investment is the foundation of genuine interest. Consider this scenario. A man is on a date. His date asks him about his last relationship. The man who talks too much sees this as his cue to perform. He launches into a detailed story about his ex, the breakup, and all the pain it caused him. He thinks he is being vulnerable and honest. What he is actually communicating is that he is still emotionally entangled in his past, that he lacks discretion, and that he seeks validation from a relative stranger. The date is over before the food arrives. Now imagine a man with a cold mind. He is asked the same question. He pauses for a moment. He gives a half answer. It was a learning experience. I prefer to focus on the present. He has acknowledged the question without surrendering his emotional privacy. He has signaled that he has strong boundaries and that he lives in the now. He has not been rude.
He has been powerful. He has created intrigue. She does not know the details, and that mystery is more attractive than any story he could have told. You must stop viewing conversation as a performance to win approval. Start viewing it as a strategic exchange of information. Before you speak, ask yourself 3 questions. Is what I am about to say necessary? Does it serve my long-term objective? Does it reveal a vulnerability that could be exploited? If the answer to any of these is no, you are better off remaining silent. Your words are the keys to your kingdom. Stop handing them out to every traveler who passes by your gates. Guard your thoughts. Be deliberate in your speech. Let your silence speak volumes about your strength. And when you do choose to speak, make sure your words are heavier than their silence. The world does not need to know your entire story. It only needs to know that you are the one writing it. So, the next time you open your mouth, ask yourself, are you building your authority? Or are you giving it away for free?